I've been using Auto-Tune for years, but I'm excited to say that Antares and Universal Audio have brought Auto-Tune to the UAD platform. I'm going to walk you through some of the basic features of Auto-Tune, and then with the help of AJ, share some of my personal tricks that I like to use on singers. If you want the lowest latency possible, you can run Auto-Tune inside Console here. In Console, you can monitor and record through Auto-Tune in real time with near zero latency. If you want to print the sound of Auto-Tune into your DAW, make sure your channel is set to record. Auto-Tune's algorithm actually sounds better if you place your cut filters and your de-essers first. Before Auto-Tune in your vocal chain, you might also want to insert the new SSL-E channel strip as a Unison plugin on the input channel inside of Console. Then you can adjust your cut filters here. The mic gain knobs on the Unison plugins control the actual hardware preamp gain on the front of the Apollo. Bear in mind that when recording through the Apollo, that Unison plugins are always committed in real time on the way in. Everything else, especially like reverb and delay, should always be after Auto-Tune in your plugin chain. This is where you select your input type. This includes optimized processing algorithms for the type of material you're recording. I normally use the alto tenor setting for males and soprano for female singers. Choosing your input type based on your material will result in faster and more accurate pitch correction. The tracking control is essentially your pitch variation threshold control. Most people like to use the default setting of 50, but through trial and error, I like to use a setting closer to around 30. If, for instance, you're working with a distorted vocal, you might want to choose a more relaxed setting. Right, here's where you choose the key of your song, and here's where you set the scale. The track I'm working on is in A major, so I'm going to choose that. You can also set your scale menu back to chromatic, and then set your scale here. And what that does is it enables the keyboard below. Just for example, we could deactivate all of the C# keys from being performed in the song. This is the retune speed. This is the most used control by Auto-Tune users. Retune speed determines how fast the pitch correction is applied to the incoming sound. These numbers are in milliseconds, so if you want the famous Auto-Tune effect, then set the retune speed to 0. For most singers, anywhere from 20 to 50 is good. I mean, it's a stylistic thing, so really it's up to you what setting you want to use. This is the correction style knob. In the classic position, pitch correction is always applied. This is the same as previous versions of Auto-Tune. As you move the control into the flex range, the correction gets smaller and smaller until it reaches the extreme clockwise position where no correction will be applied at all. For jazzy singers or singers that bend up or down into notes, the correction style can give the singer a more natural sound. You can also monitor through Auto-Tune real time as a plugin insert in your DAW. This little microphone button is the live track low latency button on UAD plugins. While you can run the plugin at a much lower latency, it will cost you more CPU from your computer. It's important to enable this feature, especially if the singer's monitoring themselves through Auto-Tune in real time.
I know where, but we should both go. We should both go. Later on, late night, bring your friends to the party. They say hips don't lie. Make sure you don't hurt nobody.
So in this song, I chose a retune speed of 9 just because I wanted to hear a bit more of the Auto-Tune effect on AJ's vocals. So the first vocal here I pitched down an octave, the second one up. I'm going to choose a retune speed of 0, and then I'm going to automate the input type on the channel. The lower octave requires the low male setting in order for auto-tune to register properly. Then I'm going to set the higher octave vocal to soprano. Let's see how that sounds.
We should both go. Later on, late night, bring your friends to the party. They say hips don't lie, make sure you don't hurt nobody.
Alright, now I'm going to have AJ cut the first of his 4 backs, and I'll show you in auto-tune the settings that I'll apply.
They say hips don't lie, make sure you don't hurt nobody.
Alright, so AJ finished cutting his vocal stack. We've got 4 vocals, and you can see over here that we've got the first channel pan 35 left, second channel pan 35 right, third channel 100 left, fourth channel 100 right. So in the first instance of auto-tune, you can see here that I'm using a retune speed of 0. This is the left channel, but here's where it gets interesting, is the scale detune knob I've got set to -4. On the right channel, which is pan 35 right, you can see that I'm using a setting of +4. This is a little trick we used to use with other methods to create separations in the backs. So let's see how those two sound when played together. Alright, I like how they sound. The next 2 tracks are screwed down an octave, and I did a similar thing again. So let's see how those sound. Yeah, I'm happy with how wide those vocals now sound. On channels 3 and 4, I used a setting of -2 and +2 instead of -4 and +4 like I did with the earlier vocals. This just creates a little bit more separation and a little bit more size for the stack. Now we're going to solo all 4 of them and take a listen. And the stack in context with the song.
Later on, late night, bring your friends to the party. They say hips don't lie,